Hello everyone, welcome back to Genuine Chit Chat, the podcast where we're going to help you grow through what you go through. Today I'm here with Caroline, who is on her own self-healing journey after facing a few challenges in life, including being diagnosed with diabetes at a young age, moving to Dubai solo all on her own, and she's here to show you that you can change these challenges into growth and wants to inspire you to dream big and achieve big. So let's get into this inspiring episode. So welcome back everyone. How are you? How are you doing? Lovely to actually meet you.
I know, I can't believe I'm actually here.
Yeah, this is so exciting.
Literally came to London, been here for 10 days and I can't believe I'm going to be on a podcast.
I know. So how come you come over to London? Just travelling, coming back?
I'm actually graduating.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I literally just graduated
well
my 3-year
done.
degree. So I was studying online while working at the same time and traveling, and I managed to find a university in London. So they held graduation here. So I hopped on a flight, came over, and then just made a whole trip out of it.
Oh my God, I love that. What was your degree in?
So I did a BA Honours in Business Management and Tourism.
Oh, nice. Oh, tourism. So that's all
Yeah,
linked back
so
to where we
that's
get
where
down.
I kind of link it into
Yeah.
what I've been doing for the past 8 years.
Yeah. So you're into travelling. So do you want to take us right back to the beginning of your journey? Sort of, so I found out you were diagnosed with diabetes at a really young age. That must have been quite frightening and not know what to do.
So at the age of 13, I was diagnosed with diabetes and I actually got it through trauma. Yeah.
Wow.
So normally, not a lot of people know this, but like they think, oh, diabetes is stemmed from like unhealthy eating or it's in your genes, genetics, through your family, but I suffered like a very traumatic event. In South Africa, we have maids, which are like our second moms. We're growing up with them, and unfortunately she died in a car accident, and she was the first death that I had experienced as a child.
Oh, bless
And that
you.
shock, that when I found out that she had passed away, the doctors kind of traced back when they were kind of checking my bloods and all of that, that when that incident happened, that's when my symptoms started to arise. I was losing lots of weight. I was so dehydrated. I literally just always wanted to sleep. I was always hungry. I literally had to go to the bathroom every 5 minutes just because like the dehydration was just so bad.
Oh my God.
So then I was a really good swimmer, and one day I went for my swimming tryouts at school and I couldn't even finish a lap.
Really?
And my dad was there watching me and he was like, no, there's something wrong. Like, there's really something wrong. So that day they took me into the doctor, and that's when I found out that I was diagnosed type 1 diabetic. I had a
That's
sugar that was
crazy.
like over 30.
And what should the normal amount be?
Your normal amount should be between like 4 and 6.
And yours was 30.
Yeah, it was really high. And they actually wanted to put me in hospital because I was like going into a coma. And I freaked out because I've never been in hospital before. So I was like, no, I don't want to do it. And that day, the doctor taught me how to inject myself. And I was terrified of needles, as most people are. But I was like, I either have to inject myself or I'm not going to live. So it was a huge wake-up call at 13 years old that I had to take
young
control.
age to have to go through that.
When I look back now, it's kind of crazy of like that little 13-year-old just taking on a huge responsibility and needing to be independent and looking after myself, because it was, if I don't give myself insulin, there's a rocky road I'm going to be taking if I don't look after myself.
Of course, and that I think that's the first time I've ever heard that someone's been diagnosed with diabetes after trauma. Because like you said, you think it's a genetic thing, or you think or if you're eating bad, you're going to get it. I've never knew that was a thing. That's crazy.
I know, and even I can give you another example. Like one of my friends that I know in South Africa, unfortunately, she had a house break-in and a gun was put to her head when they were doing the house arrest and all of that. And through that trauma, she got type 1 diabetes.
I've never heard of this before. That's crazy.
Yeah, so when I say trauma, this could be linked to stress. It could be linked to your anxiety. So there's a lot of like mental health that can trigger your body to like attack your pancreas and kill it off, and that can stem and give you diabetes.
Oh my God, that's crazy. So how did that feel when you were initially diagnosed? I bet that was really scary. Like, how did you deal with it at that age especially?
So at 13, I was not educated on diabetes, so I literally thought my life was over. I literally
bless
thought
you.
that I cannot do what I want to do. There's no way I'm going to be able to live. And as a 13-year-old, there was like oh, when I go to birthday parties, I'm not going to eat cake. And, just being so innocent. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to have sweets. And it's so unfair. And for the first 6 months, they call it the honeymoon phase, where your pancreas is slowly dying and it's not going to be giving your body insulin anymore. That I was able to kind of navigate quite well. But after 6 months, I rebelled. So really? I was in high school. I was navigating high school for the first time, trying to fit in and having all this medicine and injections. And I was like, but why must I have it? Like, it's unfair. All these kids are like doing what they want to do. They can eat what they want to eat. It just looks like such a simple life. Why me? And yeah, I stopped taking my insulin.
Wow.
So no one knew. So I was like,
I
didn't tell my parents. So I tried to like cheat the system. And it actually really affected me badly in the long run, because I stopped taking my insulin. I tried to like divert different tactics and try and like get away from like my parents not noticing that the insulin build up in the fridge. And then one day my mom was like, why is there so much insulin in the fridge? Like, she just noticed it. And I was like, oh, I'm just taking like small dosages of insulin. It's my carb counting and all of that. And then they took me to the doctor, and the doctor said, and gave me a huge wake up call. He's like, I'm letting you know, you're killing yourself, because you can get DKA, which is like ketones in your body that builds up and like crystallizes and can actually kill you. So I was harming myself in that long run of not taking my insulin. And he was like, you won't be able to do what you want to do and chase your dreams if you're not going to look after yourself. And I think that was a huge wake up call for me, because I was like, all I've got to do is just be active, maintain a healthy lifestyle, and just look after myself and give myself insulin, because insulin is literally keeping me alive every single day.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I guess at that age, you, like you were saying, it's not fair. You don't want to have to do that. But it's good you sort of got that wake up call, because then you realised, as much as it seems like in your head as a 13-year-old, oh, if I fit in with everyone else, it's going to be easier. But in the long run, that will not be easier, because you're not going to fit in, because you could potentially end up killing yourself by not doing that. So that must have been the sort of wake up point. So how did you sort of deal with it after that? Did you get more involved in actually looking after yourself?
So after I rebelled, I kind of like had another look at myself, and I was like, where is Carol Ann going? So I was heavily into sports. I loved being in the swimming pool. That was my favorite sport. Swimming and water polo, life saving, and I loved scuba diving. So I tried to do as much as I could at school, and as well as on the stage. So musical theatre, drama, those were like my favorite things to do at school. So going through that, I also started to do youth with diabetes camps. Okay. So there was like a community in Johannesburg where I lived, where they would take kids ages from like 6 to 12, 13, and just for a weekend, we would go to a campsite and we would educate them on like how they can be independent and look after themselves and don't have to rely on their parents all the time, because they're also going to grow up and they're going to need to learn how to inject themselves, manage their sugars, carb count. So I was stepping into a role to be a leader and to inspire at a young age, and I didn't even realize that, because they said to me when I finished my rebel stage and I was still in it, they said, why don't you come on this youth with diabetes camp, see what it's about, and see if you would like to be a youth counselor, because I was at that teenager year where I could become one. So I did that, and I did it throughout my high school career. Every year I went on the camp, and I was like, I'm going to try and put the moms out there at ease that I was looking after their child. I was waking up at 2:00 in the morning. I was checking every little girl's blood sugar in my cabin. I was waking them up if their sugar was low. Like, I had to take on that responsibility, not knowing that their lives were in my hands. So I think that really put me on track to be like, I need to be a leader and role model for them. And that's why I've tried to carry that through my whole journey up until now.
That's so wholesome, because I think that leader you were, you as your 13-year-old would have needed that yourself. And if you had someone like yourself, you would have felt so, like you weren't isolated, you weren't fully on your own. Because I think that's the problem when you get a chronic illness like that. You sort of must feel like compared to your class at school, like it's not like a thing that most people have. So you must have then really felt like you were alone. But doing the leadership, it must have felt so nice to actually help others around you as well.
It did. And also, like, I tried to also educate a lot of my friends around me, because I also feel that there's that whole stereotype on television when someone mentions diabetes, everyone thinks of like obesity and it's because you're eating so much, where that's completely wrong. There's actually 3 types of diabetes: type 1, type 2, and type 3. So type 1 is what I have, which is the insulin dependent, where I need to give myself injections to cover whatever I eat. Type 2 diabetes is more of like a insulin resistant, where your body can't absorb the insulin. And type 3 diabetes is when you're pregnant and your baby sits on your pancreas.
Oh yeah.
So you only have it like during your pregnancy, and then it's gone. So there's so much more that I didn't know, that I had to educate myself. And then I got people to come into my school to do talks about diabetes. I raised money for charity. I did like a horse racing day in South Africa.
How was that?
That was really cool. I felt really like posh with the whole dress and the hat and everything. So I loved that.
Did you win?
So what I got like my friends and family to do is get their connections, their friends, to kind of like donate money on a horse, and then they would put like 5,000 rand, 10,000 rand, do their biddings, and we raised like 41,000 rand for the youth with diabetes.
So what's that in like
pounds? So the rand is really bad at the moment, but it's like £1 is 25 rand.
£1 is 25.
So I'm really bad at math, so
that's 40.
they can figure it out.
Yeah. I was going to sit here and try and calculate it. I'm awful at that. So yeah, look it up, everyone, or I'll edit it in.
But yeah, so like that was like a huge charitable event that I did. And also another huge accomplishment that I wanted to do during school was do the Duke of Edinburgh Award. So we also have it in South Africa. So I did the gold award where...
You did gold?
Yeah.
Oh, I only ever got to bronze.
I was like, let me go straight for the gold. Let me skip.
Oh, did you not do the bronze and silver? Did you
No.
Oh my God, so what did you have to do in that?
So we had to do like an adventurous journey where... that one was the worst for me. It was like a 30-kilometer hike.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, in the mountains, and I'm a girly girl. I glamp. I don't rough and tough it up. So that was a huge experience for me. But I got through it. It was like a 3-day hike.
God.
But the other challenges, such as like working for a charity. So I went into a place called Hoedspruit, and I worked with the endangered animals, helped out. So it was like working with the cheetahs and the rhinos, which I absolutely loved. We had to take up a skill, so like whether it was like singing, dancing, anything like that, we had to do a sport. So of course I did water polo and swimming, and then we had to do a certain amount of community service hours, and I managed to do 1,000 hours of community service.
Wow, that must have taken you a while.
Yeah, it did. Like in the time limit that I had to complete it by, I think every weekend I was volunteering at different charities, and also the youth with diabetes camps that was like taking up my time. So I was trying to get fully involved in anything that I could do to help out.
That's amazing. I feel like, you know, when you hear things, you sort of grow through what you go through and you learn lessons. Like if this all wasn't to happen to you, the diabetes, I think since then, from what I can hear, you've sort of gone through life with such a wholesome approach and where you want to help others, which is so amazing, because it's good that you've learned that lesson, as difficult it was at the time.
100%.
It's good you completely changed it, rather than sitting there moping about it, and actually wanting to not just make change for those with diabetes, but those like where you're doing all the volunteering and just for charities as well. Like that is so amazing. And what point did you get to the point where you moved abroad? Because you moved to Dubai on your own. So how did that all come around?
So I've always had the dream of actually moving to America, and I wanted to study musical theatre. Being on stage and being in movies, I was like that drama queen in school.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, my parents couldn't afford to send me overseas. So I was like, okay, let me take a gap year. And I managed to get a job in Dubai. Wow. So I finished high school, and 3 days later, they said, well, you're welcome to come over. You've got the job. So it was a lifeguard job, something easy, simple.
Yeah, but as long as you've got something while you're
it was
there.
like a foot in the door. So I was like, you know what can I lose? Like, I'm 18. Let me go for a year, and we'll take it from there. Because what I initially wanted to do was save the money that I was going to earn in Dubai. People that live in Dubai know that you don't save money in Dubai. But I was naive and I didn't know that.
Wait, so why do you not save money in Dubai? Is it because you just spend it all?
It's super expensive, and you just spend your money. Like, it's just...
Oh, as in like you don't have the chance to actually save.
You don't have the chance, because you just want to do so much in Dubai, and you just... It is really expensive, but...
I mean, I feel like that in London, to be fair. Like, since moving out to London and trying to save, I'm like... I actually miss saving when I lived at home. Like
So much
now,
better to live at home, guys.
stay at home.
But yeah, so I took the gamble. I was like, let me go for a year, let me save the money, and then I can move to America and study what I want to study, which was musical theatre in dramatic arts. So that was my goal. I said to my parents, and I'm an only child, so you can imagine how my parents were feeling.
They must have felt really sad when you
Yeah.
left.
I mean, especially because it's a Middle Eastern country.
Yeah.
I wasn't educated on that country. I didn't do tons of traveling. I did do a few like Euro tours. I don't know if you have them here, where you can go to Europe and you go to like a few countries with the school and you do school tours. So I did do that during my school years, but I'd never been to Dubai, so I had no idea.
That's quite scary. Someone you've never been and then just going there on your own.
Yeah.
You must be quite scared going there.
You know, I look back now and I actually can't believe what was going through my head. Like, yeah, this seems like a great idea. I look back at her and I'm like, Carol Ann, at 18, what were you thinking? You were going to a country, you knew no one. You didn't know anything about Dubai. You didn't know the culture. You didn't know the history. You didn't know how everything works.
Yeah. I'm surprised your parents were just happy to let you go as well. Like, that's good from
I don't
them.
think they were. I think they were just like, we kind of need to let her like spread her wings and go. But they were definitely like worried. I must admit, I think in the back of their head, they were thinking, we're just praying that
Everything goes all right.
Everything goes all right. Like, I could tell you a funny story. I had to go for an interview for this job down in Durban. So my dad flew down 2 days before the interview just so he can check it was legit.
Stop.
Yeah, he literally had to fly down to make sure that
is so
no one's going to kidnap my daughter. She's not going to be sold. Like, everything's going to be like a paranoid parent. But like, bless him, honestly. So yeah, so then I arrived 2 days later to do my interview and everything was completely normal.
That. So how did you get lifeguard? I guess you're into water sports, but did you have to do like training for that?
Yeah, so I was a lifeguard in Johannesburg.
Right,
so
okay.
I used to do like a lot of the Sun City swims and the mid-mile miles. So a lot of like the long distance swimming in the dams and stuff. So they needed lifeguards. So it was like lifeguard patrol. And I did it also as community service for the community and helping out.
That's
so that's where I
sweet.
got my lifeguard kind of like skills. And then I applied for just a regular lifeguard job at a water park in Dubai, and I got it, and it changed my life.
I love that. And do you know, I'm always so curious about lifeguards. Whenever I go to like water parks on the beach, I always see them sitting there, and I'm like, have you ever actually had any crazy stories where you actually had to do something, or do you just end up most of the time sitting there?
So luckily I've never had to like save someone and give them CPR.
That's good.
I mean, you've had a few of the topple over the tube and they don't realize that you can just stand up. You know, I think people freak out. They like get to the wave pool, the tube tips them over and they panic in, and you're like, man, just down. Stand up. Like, you're good. But shame. But yeah, so lifeguarding kind of like was the foot in the door for me.
Yeah, that's
and
good.
I moved 5 departments through my career up until now. So I've been with my company for 8 years.
Wow.
And I started as a lifeguard. I moved to sales, and then I was in the concierge. So then this is where my love for tourism kind of blossomed.
Yeah.
And then while I was in concierge, I started my degree because I was like, you know, I can see myself doing this, because that dream of going to America and studying musical theatre kind of like faded away. And it was this new like travel and tourism that like intrigued me. So started in concierge, started my degree, then I moved into guest entertainment. So this is where I was hosting aqua aerobics and hosting events. So it's kind of like I brought my musical theatre background
them together
to tourism, which was absolutely insane that happened. And then I became a DJ.
What?
Yeah, so this was crazy. 18-year-old Caroline would never believe you if you told her you'll become a DJ. She would have laughed at you and been like,
I love all these different experiences you had. Like, they're so different to each other.
Same. Like, I feel like my whole motto through life has just been like, do everything, try everything, do everything. Because what's the worst? You're not going to be good at it. Okay, say you've done it, move on. So I became a DJ, and while working in guest entertainment, I kind of went up to my director and I was like, I really want to be a DJ. I want to be in that spot. And he was like, well, give it a go. So I went for a few DJ lessons, and a few of the other DJs that worked there, they were teaching me and helping me out. And I was up on that stage DJing.
I love that.
And I was just like a little character that had just been born. I named her DJ Wanderlust.
Oh, I
so
love that.
I tried to like bring my type 1 diabetes with my traveling. So the way I spelt it was like DJ1, as in type 1 diabetes.
Oh, God, so clever.
Der Lust. So
Love that.
the lust for travel. So she was born, that little character was born, and it was so fulfilling and just so exciting to just be up there playing the music and just vibing with everyone.
Yeah.
So everyone that would walk past, they would throw up a fist or they would vibe with me. And I was like, yeah, I'm making a difference. I'm putting a
love
smile on
that.
someone's face.
Yeah.
And it was just so enriching just being there.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And how, when you first moved over, because obviously, so you moved over at 18, so literally, quick maths, 5 years before that, you found out you just had diabetes. So how is it moving somewhere and dealing with that on your own? Because I guess at home you sort of had that comfort of your family, your local doctors, hospitals, or you had that if anything went wrong. But
Yeah.
that must have been quite scary going over there and dealing with that. How did that
100%. So
work out?
like I said, I didn't know anyone. So it's that loneliness that comes in. It's that stepping out of your comfort zone where I can't just run to my mom. So I must say the first 6 months in Dubai was one of the hardest. I remember phoning my mom every day and just saying I hate it. And of course my mom just wanted to be like, come home. But she had to be so strong for me and just be like, stick it out, give yourself some time, you'll get there. And I was worried. I was like, but what if something happens to me? And what if I'm rushed to hospital and no one's there to hold my hand? So pretty daunting. Cultural shock, different ways of how the country works, different pace of working. I mean, in Dubai, it's such a fast-paced train. It's like 10 and a half hours of work and it's a go environment. So I must say it was so hard to navigate, but literally just taking it day by day, even though there was so many days that I wanted to give up. But as I just let days pass and I just kept showing up even on those hard days, it started to get a lot easier. I mean, I had to go to hospital for the first time. I got kidney stones, which was the worst. Oh, I don't wish it on anyone.
Really?
It was horrible. So, and I had to face that alone.
Oh, that's so sad.
But I had friends that I had already made in the company and they accompanied me there. And I don't know if anyone else is scared of those injections, when they have to pull your blood.
I don't know why. I quite like them. I don't know why. It's quite
goodness.
weird.
I'm they hold me and I'm I can't look. So I hate them still to this day. So doing all of those things on my own, I had to mature very quickly. And I had to gain my independence really quickly at a young age, which wasn't forced upon me. It's just that was the environment I was in. I had to learn how to be vulnerable. I had to learn how to be strong and independent and budgeting and trying to get everything in an adult lifestyle where all my friends at 18 are going to university, having the time of their life, partying, where I'm no, I need to work, I need to save money, I need to make sure. I literally called my mom the one day and I was like, Mom, where do I put the Omo and the Stay Soft in the washing machine? This is the first time I was doing washing for myself.
Yeah, but I mean, it is you don't normally, like you said, your other friends, your other 18-year-olds, they were out partying, doing whatever. You don't normally do that until you're a little bit older. But I guess going through that and maturing at such a young age must have sort of changed you quite a lot. How have you noticed a lot of self-growth in yourself since doing that all on your own?
100%. I definitely believe that even when I was diagnosed with diabetes has actually made me the person I am today. I think if I wasn't diagnosed with diabetes, I'd be a completely different person. I think diabetes has really shown me how to care for the invisible struggles in people. Just the empathy that I feel for others. We truly don't know what everyone else is going through, and that's given me a huge power to just treat everyone with love and respect, because we actually don't know the silent battles that they're going through. And just being a caring and loving human, diabetes has shown me that, because it doesn't hurt to just help someone else. If my blood sugar's low, I've got friends around me that are quickly handing me a sweet or helping me out. So just that compassion has also grown me into the person that I am today.
That's so good. And I think it's why is there not more people like you in this world? Why some people got to be so negative? It's I guess if you come from a bad upbringing, but I'm why doesn't everyone want to just be that caring sort of person that looks after everyone? Because if you just spread love, it's just going to get happier, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know why there's so much negativity in this world.
I think for people that are going through a really hard background, it's completely up to you. Like, you're the one who changes your story. Like, you're literally the director and the producer, and you're the writer of your story. Like, you can change any situation you're facing. Yes, it can be a horrible situation, but you're the only one that can bring yourself out of it. I know there's so many people that want to give you advice and help, but literally when I was going through also my mental struggles during the 8 years being in Dubai from beginning to end, I still face struggles, and it just being there and kind of sitting with myself and being like, but Caroline, look how far you've come. You know, keep going. Little messages that I get daily or maybe once a week from different people that follow me on social being like, oh, this was so inspiring and thank you so much for your message, because social media can be super lonely. And when I know that a video or a post just really put a smile on someone's face or brought comfort, it's like, okay,
that makes your day.
I'm a storyteller and I'm telling my story, whether it's good, bad, heart sore, happiness. I want to be completely transparent with my whole story and tell everything and not hide everything, because something that I will say will relate to someone else.
Of course, yeah. And I think that's why it's great to have people like you on the podcast, because anyone listening, there's going to be different parts throughout this episode that they're going to relate to. And you said you went through a few struggles while you were in Dubai for 8 years. Through that 8 years, so what sort of struggles were it that you faced?
So I think definitely like navigating like adulthood was a huge challenge, because you're kind of figuring out, you know, where's your life going? You know, I get to 21, yes, it's still life of the party. I'm now 27, I'm like, okay.
What now?
What now? Everyone's buying a house, everyone's getting married, everyone's having babies.
It's so hard, isn't it? But it's like you just can't.
Can I block Facebook? So I think a lot of like young adults do a lot of like comparison, and that's something that I fell into, which was really bad, where I would compare myself to people that I was following on social media or people or my friends on Facebook, saying like, but why isn't my situation like them? Why don't I own an apartment? Why don't I already have property or have a full-time relationship where I'm about to get married and have kids? But it's not what I wanted. So I was, why am I forcing myself to want those things that they have?
Because that's like society is what you should have.
100%. And I think also mental health was like a huge challenge for me, because I suffered a lot with anxiety. I am kind of an overachiever, so I'm like a perfectionist. Like when I achieve something, it's never actually good enough for me. I'm always like, what's next? So I don't enjoy those moments. So when I did achieve something, it kind of was like pushed to the back of my brain and was like, okay, it's not good enough, I need something more. And only recently have I started going for therapy, because I'm like, I actually need to talk to someone about it. And there are things that I've kind of held with me and thought, oh, they're not that bad, you know, they're not that serious, because there's other problems in the world. There's other big challenges that other people are facing. My challenges are not that big, but they are to me.
They are. I think that's a big thing with certain challenges, because I think with me starting this podcast with my story, that sometimes I guess I'm like, then they'll be sitting there, they're like, I've been through this, but obviously it's not as big as yours. And it's like, that makes no difference whatsoever. My life is not yours is not mine. Whatever path you're on, those challenges that are coming in your way, you're the one that has to deal with them. It doesn't matter if someone else is dealing with something bigger. Whatever is blocking the path right now, that is a big issue to deal with. And I think you have to sort of understand that they're not always going to be the craziest thing, but it still will be crazy, because that's not what you're used to, and that's the difference. That's what you just got to sort of acknowledge. And I feel like I relate to you as well. Like sometimes I can be such an overachiever or a perfectionist. Even in terms of editing, I'm like, I'll spend hours doing it. I'm like, Jen, I'm sorry, don't be so big-headed, but no one's actually going to listen, where they're going to like realise that something's wrong in it. So that is so relatable. Like, that must be hard to deal with. But it's good you've reached out to get therapy. I think that's such a good first step, that you've become aware.
And to be honest, I feel like everyone should go for therapy. Even if there's nothing wrong, I feel like just talking about life and situations that you're going through, having it from a different perspective of like an outside bubble, because you're in your bubble. You can't really see it from an outsider perspective. And speaking to someone that genuinely just wants to help you and just understand your pathway or where you're going really, really helps, because it'll give you an insightful insight into your life that you might have not discovered yet.
Yeah, and I think it's good with a therapist, because I think it's better than, because it's good you can open up to your friends, your family, but when it's someone you don't know, they don't have that sort of judgment when they can be like, oh, but you done this, didn't you? Like, they don't know anything.
Yeah.
So it's good just actually
Because
hearing.
you're not going to tell your friends everything.
No,
like, let's be
no.
honest. Yes, you do tell your bestie everything, but there are those little moments where you're like, this is something I actually can't say to them.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So since you've been in Dubai, you've set up your own traveling page about you traveling everywhere. Where did that sort of spark from?
So my travel bug actually started when I was still in high school doing the Euro tours. And I was like, oh, I love this. I love discovering new places and learning the culture and just experiencing the food and the activities and everything that draws people to the country and the people especially. And when I moved to Dubai, my first ever fully paid trip by myself was to the Philippines.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was a huge like turning point for me when it came to like traveling. So I went to the Philippines for the first time and I kind of rediscovered myself. I was like completely in this childlike environment where I was jumping off waterfalls and I was swimming with whale sharks, and it was so beautiful. It was like a hidden gem that I had discovered. So from that trip, I was like, I want to see more and I want to show people. Since traveling Europe in school, I'd always documented everything. I would take my camera and be like, hey guys, I'm here in Rome. This is what I'm doing.
I love that.
So cheesy, but it's kind of carried me through.
But it's also good because it's good memories to look back on as well.
100%. And I look on my Facebook photos and I'm like, oh my goodness, like, why did I post that photo? But it built this, like, the stepping stones to where I am now. Like, I had to start with those cringy videos.
You have to. You've
and
got
those
to start
cringy
somewhere.
photos to get where I am today.
Yeah.
So I made huge mistakes when it came to like editing, like using those horrible filters on Instagram.
yeah.
And over the years, I was like, I want to show people more of what I'm doing. Like, I literally want to vlog. And took my photos, took my videos, posted them on social media. And I said, well, I need to give myself like a cute name. You know, I can't just be Carol Ann Lowe 1781, the long number. So I turned it into Travel with Carol Ann, because you're literally watching me go through all these different challenges while I'm traveling, all these exciting moments. So you're traveling with me on the phone. And yeah, I've literally wanted to just inspire people to travel, because there's so much out there in the world to see. I mean, I think a lot of people just want to stay at home and kind of like go to work, not really interested. But I'm like, guys, there's so much out there.
I know.
Like, just give yourself a break. Society puts you in this bubble where like you finish high school, you need to go to university, you need to get a 9-to-5 job, you retire, then you can travel. But think about it logically. Like, you retire at 60, you've saved all this money. At 60-year-old, is your body going to put you through those 1,000 steps that you take at London? I don't think so, because the amount of walking I've done has killed me. Are you going to jump out of an airplane?
Probably not. No.
Are you going to bungee jump? So while you're young, do it. Like, you've got nothing to lose. Just take that trip. Go and experience the Maldives. Go to Thailand. Go to America. Do a road trip in a caravan. You know? Like, time is so precious. And I always believe that, like, money returns. So I know we're on this, like, rat race of, like, saving money and all of that stuff. But put some money away. Do a trip. It'll change your life. 100%. Even if you're having a bad, wouldn't say day, but like moment, like if you're in a really bad situation and you just can't get out of this rut, do a trip. Do a trip.
Change
and
something.
And then you'll come back from that trip, and I promise you, your mind space would have changed, because you would have gone on a solo trip. You would have met people that would have inspired you and had the same like mind as you. And you'll come back and be like, actually, what I was stressing about 6 months to a year about is actually not that big, and I can get over it. So traveling really does change the way you look at life and you look at the world and your situation. So that's what I kind of wanted to bring to my social media in regards to like romanticizing your life. Yes, people say, oh, it only happens in movies. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You can create those beautiful memories. You can go to Cappadocia and be in a hot air balloon and put on a princess dress and run through the balloons. You can do it.
Wow,
it's possible.
that.
Like, romanticize your life. Do what you want to do, because we're literally just visitors on this earth. Like, we've only got a limited time. So what are you waiting for?
Honestly,
and that's literally what I want to project. And now with my diabetes, I want to show more diabetics out there that you can travel with diabetes, because a lot of people are scared to travel with diabetes because they're thinking, okay, what about my insulin? It's going to overheat in the sun when I'm walking. What if no one understands what to do? Different language, different culture. So through my journey of traveling, I'm really trying to inspire people to say, I can do it, so can you.
Honestly, your approach is so amazing. Like the way you sort of view life is just great, because you're so right. We're stuck in this sort of societal bubble where we grew up in England. Okay, let's just stay here. That we just need to work, find a partner, get married, have children. But I feel like, because I went traveling Southeast Asia and New Zealand, and the amount of different opportunities, different people you meet, different perspectives you're going to have from that trip is insane. And people don't realize that until they go, which is, I think it's so great you're telling people they should, because like you said, we think we have so much more time than we do.
Yeah.
And we really don't. And I think such a big thing people don't do it for as well is money, because they're looking to save for a house, save for their future. But future is never promised. You don't know if you're going to wake up tomorrow. So why not put the money into something you actually will enjoy doing? And it's so great you've done it solo. Because like, I've thought about it before, but then there's part of me, I'm just like, oh, I am scared as well. But I think when I went traveling with my friend, and we went on like the different bus tours or stayed at different hostels, there were a lot of solo travelers, and you make friends so easily.
So easily. Like,
that is fine.
For me, when I was traveling, it's only up until this year did I do a solo trip. So
Really?
I'd always travel with someone, a friend, a family member, take my mom on trips. And I was like, I need to do something different, because a lot of people think on my social media that I do a lot of solo traveling. And it's kind of maybe the impression I give off, just because like I'm the only one in my video, or it kind of looks like I'm always vlogging. And I went to Bali and it changed my life. I met 20 amazing, inspiring girls on the solo trip that just changed my perspective. I was like, I can do it. I went to Disneyland Paris by myself. The first day I was in tears, because I was like, I've literally just met Olaf and I've got no one to tell them that I literally gave him a warm hug. But after watching the fireworks at the end of Disneyland Paris, it was transforming, because I would watch the fireworks and be like, I'm here. I brought myself here. I'm so capable to do it alone.
That is amazing.
I was able to manage my sugar. I didn't put myself in a bad situation. I can do it by myself. So even navigating in the underground on myself is pretty impressive, because that thing is really confusing.
Oh, yeah, it is.
So those little moments, it's not even about the big moments, it's about the little moments that you experience through life and through your travel, that you will probably meet like one of your best friends on a trip.
Oh, definitely.
But you don't know, because you're staying in this like comfort zone and this routine and this environment. But just put yourself out there and you'll meet maybe the love of your life on a trip. You don't know.
Yeah.
So do it now, rather than like, oh, I wish I had. Because if you go on a trip and you come back and you're like, no, I still like my life, the 9 to 5, the routine. Great.
At least you tried it.
At least you know. Because you're always going to have this like little thought in your head saying, but what if I actually took that job in Thailand to be a teacher? But what if I actually went to go work at a ski resort for 6 months? How would have my life turned out? Take the risk.
You definitely should. And I think it's great with your solo traveling as well. You've sort of put yourself in that position where you're not reliant on someone else. Because I think there's a lot of us in life. We either rely on our friends, family, or a partner, and we feel like we can't do things on our own. But the fact you put yourself in that position where you become independent, you're going to help yourself so much more by doing that. And especially traveling with diabetes, I guess you must now feel safe that you can look after yourself and you don't have to rely on others around you.
Yeah.
Which is so good.
I mean, it can be scary. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, it can be very daunting if you do get sick and you're like, I need to go to the hospital. But technology today, you've got your phone. You can WhatsApp call them.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're walking the streets and you're feeling lonely, call your friend. Be like, look where I am. That little like effort just helps you kind of like get through the day. So if you are feeling a bit like overwhelmed and you're like, I'm on my own and I don't feel comfortable, whip your phone out, call your mom, call your friend, be like, look where I am, I'm on the underground, look, there's Big Ben. It kind of gives you that confidence that unconsciously you don't realize.
Yeah.
But there are little ways to make it feel better when you're doing a solo trip. Also, I was sitting at a breakfast table in Disneyland and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm by myself. I'm like eating by myself. And I was like, this is so weird. Like I'm just watching people. And
do you think everyone's watching you, but they're actually not? I feel like when you're alone, you literally think you're stuck out like a sore just get that out.
Sore thumb.
You think you're stuck out like a sore thumb, but you're not. Because like I think that's a main problem in us doing stuff on our own or not with others, because you think you think you're the main character, which in certain ways you can be, but like no one really cares about you. No one's going to care that you're sitting on your own.
No one cares. Like literally also when it comes to social media, I mean, I think a lot of people get quite camera shy and they get quite overwhelmed where they have to do a TikTok in public or they have to whip out their camera and like record themselves. But guys, I promise you'll never see that person ever again.
Literally.
They don't care. They literally like, they look at you for 5 minutes. They're like, what a weirdo. They carry on.
Yeah.
So I had to like imprint it in my brain to say, Caroline, take the funny video, do that funny TikTok, because at the end of the day, your viewers are going to laugh. They're going to love it. That person that was judging you doesn't even know who you are.
So true.
So don't even think about them.
It's so true. So if you sort of want to give advice to those that are struggling with diabetes, whether they were born with it or it's come out of nowhere and they feel like they can't really move on with life, like what sort of advice would you give to them?
So firstly, like think of it as a superpower, all right? You're literally keeping yourself alive every single day. So my biggest advice with you would just be like, keep chasing your dreams. Don't let this chronic illness stop you from doing what you want to do, because you can be a doctor, you can be an astronaut, you can be anything to your imagination. I've gone through 5 jobs which have never even been in my pathway or dream. I've been able to be a DJ. I've been able to work in concierge. I'm now in social media marketing. I've traveled 38 countries. Wow. I've scuba dived. I've skydived. I've jumped out of a plane 4 times. So literally, like, it's possible to do anything. I think the only thing that's limiting you is your mind. So just keep inspiring others. There's so many people out there that want to know your story. So if you're in a bad space where you're like, I don't want this, I can't handle it anymore, change your environment, because sometimes you can't grow in an environment that hurts you. And I think by me leaving South Africa and starting my growth again in Dubai also helped me and changed me in a huge way. So that's also another bit of advice, is that if you're really struggling where you are, it could be your environment. Think of a flower. You could have bad soil around you, or just the ingredients that are coming in and the elements that are coming in are not helping you. It's not you and it's not your diabetes. It's literally the energy and what you're radiating off of people. Change your environment.
Honestly, you've been so inspiring. I feel like after this episode, I feel like I need to go and like do something new. It's great because I think although you're addressing those with diabetes, it's not just directed at them, it's sort of directed at everyone in life to take these risks, go out of your comfort zone, do something new, which is just I think your view and your perspective on life is actually refreshing. Like, it's so refreshing to meet someone like you where you're ready to take that risk, because although it's scary, great opportunities come when you're scared, and they're the opportunities you should dive into and actually take, because now you're traveling around all the time and you've grown quite a base of followers, haven't you, on Instagram?
Yeah.
What are you on now?
At around 26,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing that for before you got to that? Oh,
the Apple Watch
Sorry.
is talking to you.
Are you trying to ruin the episode? How long did that take to grow to that many followers?
So I was trying to grow for a long period of time. I was kind of stuck on like the 5,000 mark. And I was thinking to myself, like, I don't know why my content's not growing. So I think for about like 3 to 4 years, I'd really been like putting in effort, editing, all the stuff. But I realized I wasn't giving any call to action or purpose or message. Like, I wasn't truly giving people the other side of Carol Ann. Yeah. I was literally posting the pretty photo, the edited photo, the edited video. I wasn't saying, hey guys, I've had a really bad day, this is what happened to me, where people can actually relate and be like, oh my gosh, I relate to her. Like, I literally feel the same way. And that's when you start to create a connection and an engagement in your audience. So to me, it's not about like, oh, I need to grow to 1 million followers. Like, the 26,000 people, I have to keep reminding myself, if I had all those people that follow me in front of me right now,
that would be mental.
I think I'd burst into tears and just be like, it's insane that you're following my journey. Like, I literally just want to give you all a hug, because you're supporting me and you're loving what I'm showing you. And I think a lot of people get wrapped up in that social media where they're like, no, we need 50,000. No, we need 100,000.
Yeah, it's not, because that's still a lot of people. Like,
500 people is a lot. Like, imagine you're saying a speech to someone and you've got 500
in
people
the room. Yeah.
staring at you and they're smiling and they're like, oh, what are you going to say next? What are you going to do? We want to know. So even if you've got 10 people following you, you're inspiring 10 people.
And it's more than none if you weren't to set it up.
There we go. You've got to just try. Like, if people want to start an Instagram but they're too scared, they're like, oh, we've got nothing to talk about. Share your story.
Yeah.
There will be someone that really relates to you.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, your story's been amazing. I really, really enjoyed this episode. And I feel I've gone so fast, honestly. But you've been so great. And towards the end of the episode, I like to ask the guests to give any listeners now a sort of task they can do this week that will make them feel good or to bring a bit of positivity into their life. What would you recommend?
So just like an inspirational quote to them or just some advice to take with them is purpose is so important because when your motivation fails, like purpose is what drives you through it. So my task for you guys is sit down and write a letter to your 17-year-old self in your own time. So look back at your 17-year-old you. What are you going to be telling him or her? Like, she wants to know everything that's happened. Even if you were in a dark place when you were 17, you were confused, you didn't know where life was taking you, write her a letter and tell her where you are now. And I promise you, you're going to look back and be like, oh my goodness, little Carol Ann is screaming right now of what she's accomplished because she thought she was going in one direction. You guys are probably thinking at yourselves, you were going in one direction, but you've gone a completely different way. And you're so proud of where you've taken yourself. So that's my task for you.
I love that because I think that is going to unlock all the stuff you've achieved because us as humans, we don't realise how much we've achieved. But if you were to write to your past self, you're going to be like, whoa, I've actually done a lot.
You're going to think you're super cool. You're going to be like, oh my goodness, if I met my future self at 17, I would have looked at her and been like, oh my goodness, I want to be like her.
And you literally are her. Which, oh my God, that's amazing. I love that type. I'm going to do that today when I get home.
Yeah.
So also to end it as well, have you got a good song that listeners can put on after this that will make them feel good?
Oh, it's so cliche, but I literally carry the song wherever I travel, whether I'm on a boat and everyone's dancing. Mm-hmm. I'm obsessed with Mamma Mia and Dancing Queen. I just feel it is a girl's girl that can ring in all the girls on a dance floor and you don't even know them, but you're screaming the lyrics so loud at each other, pointing at each other, telling that girl you're a dancing queen. I just think it's such an uplifting and energetic song that it can turn my mood so quickly.
I don't think you can ever listen to it and be like, oh, I'm feeling really sad.
You're going to get up and you're going to dance and you're going to show off and you're going to go crazy. I think some of my followers would know, like, I've posted a lot of videos of me dancing to Dancing Queen, especially in Bali, where it was just so empowering and just dancing with all those girls. Didn't know them, but we were having the time of our lives. So that is my song that gets me through.
What a great request. And do you know what? Songs like that, I just love being a girl and I love dancing with different girls you don't know. You just get on with them. You've never met them. But I love that community you feel when you get that, like, I am... As much as women struggle in life, I think if I had a choice, I'd choose to be born as a girl because I just love it with experiences like that. It's just great.
I mean, just what we enjoy, what we talk about. Like, we're so much, but I'd rather be so much. I'd rather have all this excitement, this energy. Like, we get so excited when a princess movie comes out or a new Labubu, like this thing that's taken over. Like, everyone wants it because it's FOMO. Like, you know, the boys are like, oh, guys, what is this Labubu thing? Like, I don't know. I don't see the obsession. But us girls are like comparing. We're like, oh, did you get this Labubu? Did you get this?
Did you buy this? Obsessed over such tiny things. It's so cute though, because we're actually excited.
You share this excitement with people. Like, you'll walk past a girl and you'll give her a compliment and be like, I absolutely love your dress. You don't know the impact that you've just made on her.
I love doing that, like complimenting people, because it makes sucks if someone does it to me. Or even walking down the street. I remember the other day I was at the walking back from the gym. I'll try and smile at people. Sometimes it doesn't work. They don't smile back. But I literally smiled at this one girl and she fully grinned with her teeth. And like, that put me in such a good mood. It must have put her in a good mood as well, which is so nice.
I mean, just passing a little compliment, just being like, I love your shoes. And she'll turn around and be like, thank you so much. I got it at Zara. And you're going to be like, oh my goodness, I'm going to go get it. You've literally just created a little connection that she could have been having a horrible day, but you took the time to notice the shoes that she put on this morning. She's probably thinking, oh, I look horrible. My hair looks bad. I didn't do my makeup properly. And you could have turned around to her and been like, you look absolutely beautiful today. Because sometimes we're so hard and we judge ourselves a lot when we look at the mirror. And other people see a beauty that we don't see.
Yeah.
So to be a girl's girl and just passing out those compliments just changes someone's day.
Yeah, it really does. And do you know what? You coming on this episode has changed my day. I really enjoyed it.
But I've loved it. I've just loved chatting with you, and I can't wait for everyone to like hear our episode.
Yeah, no, it's going to be great. I'm really enjoyed it. So thank you so much for coming on. I'm sure everyone listening now is going to feel inspired and motivated to sort of get out of their comfort zone, change what they want to do, and you can achieve your goals, you can achieve your dreams if you're the one to make that decision. So thank you so much for coming on.
Travel.
Yeah, do it while you can. Do it while you're young. Even if you're not young and you're older, listen to this, you still have time to do it.
Yeah.
Don't waste it. So yeah, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And I will catch you guys next time. Bye.